over here. Hi, Swedish Television.
Hey, mate.
You look very cool, confident, methodical in there. How do you assess your own performance?
Yeah, I think I let the feeling out process go on a little too long in the first round. Started a little slower than I probably would have liked, if in hindsight, but that's always the beauty of hindsight. And then after I gauged his space, controlled it, worked out his range, went to work.
Now, yet again, you establish yourself, obviously, after the win, back in the winning column, and for contention. Now, what do you see for your own future now?
Well, I've got to get some revenge on some patisseries that were plaguing me all week. They're just teasing me. And then there's Christmas. But I hear there's rumours of an Australia card. I would love to fight in my backyard. And I think that's the next move for me. As for who I'm fighting, mate, I'm a fiend for progress. I want to go forward. I'm hunting that gold still. So I'm always going to be lurking around, just destroying whoever they put in front of me until I get a chance to gobble up that gold.
Now, and final question for me. Seeing how you showed up tonight, now, how did you get back after the double losses against Adesanya and coming back and performing the way you did?
I got back in the gym. The boys slapped me out of it. The coaches put me through some hard yards. And honestly, by the end of a camp, when I've given everything to the camp and the coaches have given everything to the camp, you have to fight. You want to fight, because otherwise all that work is for nothing. There's no way to gauge what works, what does not work, what gets better, what doesn't. This is my craft. This is what I was born to do. And I'm pretty sure I could take 5 years off doing absolutely nothing, and you put me in a cage with someone, I'm going to throw.
Thank you.
Rob, just for you, were you a little surprised he kind of did the fake handshake just there?
Oh yeah, a little. It was grubby. it was just grubby. It was a grubby thing to do. My coaches anticipated him trying to do something like that to annoy me. It did. It did annoy me. It was a grubby act.
A lot's made of like his chin, obviously, and I know you knew that going into this fight that he could take a shot. But were you surprised that some of those head kicks didn't seem to get him down to the canvas at all?
Not really. It's I wasn't really banking on just one shot putting him away. I wanted it to hit him. I planned to hit him for 15 minutes, and I worked relentlessly during the camp to make every shot count. And it did. It hurt him. You could see it in his eyes. You could see it in his movements. You could see him coming out in 2, coming out in 3. He wasn't the same man walking in there. And I'm happy with that.
Do you think this performance sort of once again cements that there's this division and there's you and Israel at the top, and then there's a gap between you two and everyone else?
I'm the most dangerous man in the division. Israel's the champ. He beat me twice. Hats off to him for that. And he's a great fighter. He really is. And I think stylistically he's a great fighter. I still think I'm the most dangerous man in the division, because I win a lot, and I make people hate fighting. Like, I take the fight out of them, because that's what I do. I get in there and I get to work.
Rob, just over here, in front of you. There was a lot of talk from Vettori in the run-up to this fight. Do you feel that maybe he underestimated you at all?
I'm sure surely nobody's underestimated me at this point, But I think it's hard for me to tell. I've never fought myself, right? But I think I fight differently to a lot of guys that they've fought before. I think I'm very hard to replicate in the gym, just how I fight. I'd like to think my fight style is quite unique, and my attributes when I'm fighting are quite unique. So I don't think he underestimated me as much as was surprised at just, how I am, who I am when I get in there.
And you said, including the champ, you think you're the most dangerous man in the division. Do you see Izzy holding on to the title against Alex?
He's very good, bugger. He's very good. I think his style of fighting, he's a very good defensive striker, and he has the physical attributes to do it, as well as the talent in the craft, like the eyes, the head for it. He's just good at what he does. He can avoid danger like nobody's business. And, that makes him hard to dethrone, especially if you go to the points, he's just very hard to dethrone. I think Pereira's it's going to be interesting because they've fought before, and the small gloves adds an element of that was different in their kickboxing fights, as well as Pereira's huge. He's got the range and the reach, and he's very offensive with it, so we're going to see that. But in saying that, they're wearing small gloves. Is he hit him in the kickboxing fights? Small gloves change things. You see it every night. The small gloves changes fights.
And you've spoken a lot about your improvements that you've made, your development. If it does go down for a third time against Izzy, do you believe you're a different fighter to who you were the second time round?
Yeah, definitely. Because he knocked me out in the first one, and then the second one was a really close decision that I'm not butthurt about it, but on another day it could have been my win. It's and mentally that's massive. It's very hard to explain how it feels to get knocked out and lose your belt like that. It sucks. There's a bit of a learning process afterwards, a bit of a picking the pieces up sort of process, and doubts and whatnot. And I conquered most of them before that second fight. That second fight, I conquered the rest of them, and I think you could see that in this fight today.
Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Robert, right here on your left.
Oh.
So you talk about wanting to move forward, and it seems the only problem with that is that you are ranked number 1 already, so that leaves the title. Is the play now then to wait for the winner of Adesanya Pereira? Is there anything else that would make sense?
I don't know. I try to stay out of. I don't really deal with the ladder and the rankings, politics, movements, and machinations. It's anybody's business how that works. I've got no idea. Never have really worried about it. I just beat the guys they put in front of me. It's been my simple plan since I started the sport. They put someone in front of me, I just beat them. And that's what I do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm lurking. I am lurking for that gold. And I'll be here just waiting for that rematch or the next challenge. But I'm not just going to sit on the sidelines for years and chill. This is what I do for a living. And I enjoy doing it. I like putting on a show. So we'll wait and see. The future is unknown, really.
Jared Cannonier lost his opponent recently. It might be a little too soon at its current date, but would there be any interest in that?
Negative. It's Christmas first. I've got a sore foot as well. I can stop kicking. It hurts. I kicked him a bit, and my foot's sore now. So I want to let that heal before I get back in the gym and get to work. And then it's Christmas. You only get so many Christmases, so honestly, there's an Australian card coming up next year that is in my backyard, obviously. Makes perfect sense for me.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, right here in the middle. So in this fight, when was the moment that you realized that you actually won it? Was it at the decision, or did you know beforehand?
Well, you never know you win until the end. So, but I had complete control of the fight at the end of the first round. I didn't feel danger. I just felt free. I felt like I could do whatever I wanted, and kind of did that.
It looked like he blocked your kick with the front of his skull. Was that a moment that you actually got hurt or the kick?
I got no. Honestly, mate, here's a little, tidbit on how I kick. I fire and forget, mate. I'm not really. There's not a lot of, technical. Like, I work and I practice the kick a lot. All my kicks, all my skills and my craft. I'm always trying to get better, and I'm working on them constantly. I'm just aiming at his head, and I hope to break, hurt, or injure whatever's in the way of it. It's keep it simple, mate. I'm a simple man.
Last question for me. And you told us that you are chasing gold. So If you had the choice, would you rather have a title fight, or let's say Pereira wins, or would you rather have a rematch against Izzy?
Nah, I want to move up. I want progress. I want progress. I don't have a grudge with Izzy. You know, I got over that. Too old for this now. You know, I'm too old to have grudges like that. It's not personal. What we do isn't personal. This is my craft. This is how I earn a living. I'd like to think we are modern day warriors, gladiators, and this is what we do. So there isn't a personal grudge there. I want progress. I want to move forward. I want to get that gold back.
Rob, just to your right here. A lot of people have been taking note of Izzy's performances recently and have been calling him boring as a champion. You've been a champion before. Do you think it's your duty as a champion to still have exciting fights or not?
That's a tricky question. Depends on what's in the contract. You know, I'm pretty sure he's just paid to win. You know, and that's the most important thing, whether it's boring or not. You can have the most exciting fight of the night. If you lose, no one's talking about you tomorrow.
How is your outlook on that when you're a champion? Is that something that you took into note going to the fights?
Nah, I didn't really worry about it. And I've never worried about it in my fights. And I say that because I'm blessed in a way that I fight excitingly. Like, I like throwing a lot of punches and kicks and weaving a little bit. It's I'm fortunate enough to have exciting fights. But at the end of the day, winning is all that matters. It's as cold as it sounds, winning is all that matters. If I could just take someone down and hold them down until someone took them home, I would. No, like, I love you fans, I love the fans, I love my fans, but I will happily hug someone on the ground for 25 minutes if that gets me the W. That's the sport we're in. And Izzy's a defensive striker, he always has been. And I think the fans don't really, appreciate how good at that he is. You can see comparatively, like, I'd like to think I'm a very offensive striker. I'm good at what I do, I'd like to think. And he made it hard for me to hit him. All right? I hit mostly everyone.
And finally, you fought all over the world, but it was very, very loud fans tonight. What did you make of the arena?
Hats off to Europe. It made it feel like home, honestly. When I walked out, the crowd was going ballistic. It just, took me back to Sydney, you know what I mean?
Thank you, congratulations.
Okay, Robert, to your left. You looked so much faster than Vettori during your fight. Were you aware of that speed advantage when you were working on your game plan for this fight?
Yeah, I work on my speed every time I get in the gym. And when I say I work on speed, there isn't a specific drill. I punch a lot. Like, I can't explain to you how many jabs and crosses I've thrown this camp. Like, just to get it faster, to get it straight, to get it accurate, to make it hurt. You don't understand how many times I've thrown those punches. That's why it's fast, And
that jab worked pretty well, right?
Yeah, everything worked really well. It's that's why we work so hard. We do all the hard yards, we do all the preparation, and hats off to my coaching staff. This fight, there were a lot of obstacles we had to get out of the way on the way in, and we did it. A huge shout out to Justin Lang at Live Athletic. He got me here in tip-top shape, fitter than ever, healthier than ever, and it was on his back that we were able to do what we did tonight.
Were you surprised by anything from Vettori today?
No, I did my research. We worked hard. We worked really hard, mate. I don't just rock up to these fights. We worked very hard, and that's why I had to push the fight back the first time, because I didn't want to rock up with a half. Without any training. It's not the sort of fight. I'm not that fighter, and this isn't the sort of fight you can have with him. You can't come to fight him half-cooked. You have to go there to kill him, because that's the only way you're going to get him out of there.
Last one. Were you pissed by the fact that he jumped on you know, Michael Bisping at the end of your fight and he kind of take the microphone?
I didn't notice. Sorry.
That's fine. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.